What if I told you there's a plant that comes from Asia that's a perennial, tastes unreal, grows like strawberries, it just keeps on spreading out these perennial vines along the ground, doesn't need full sun, and you can use it in a variety of ways. Would that interest you? Well, if it does, come on this journey with me and check out this amazing plant. So this plant is called the Piper betel, and it's related to pepper. It's an amazing plant, and I've got it growing here underneath a little avocado tree, and it will spread out over time as the avocado tree grows. Now, in permaculture, what we like to do is we like to use our space. So we've got our vertical space, our mid-tier space, and the bottom of the ground space. And in permaculture, this plant is the one that hugs along the bottom of the ground in the shade. And guess what? It's got big wide leaves, so it photosynthesizes, sending down more energy down into the ground to produce more sugars for all our lovely little microbes and things. And that's a win-win. Another win for the Piper betel, I would say. Anyway, let's have a look at this plant. It's down here, and I've got it also growing throughout the garden, and I'm going to show how you can grow it too. So the common name for this plant is betel leaf, and it's really popular in India and Pakistan, and it's used in ceremonies, big ceremonies. And one of the great things about this plant is actually the leaf. I'll get one leaf off here. It's really stable, like you can store it for ages. And first time I ever seen it was at the markets in Southeast Asia, because I used to live in Southeast Asia, and you'd see it wrapped in these big piles or in rolls and things, and it would last for ages. Now, I have sold this to restaurants, and I believe that it has a very big market coming up in the future. Just like kale did years ago, you never heard of it, and all of a sudden it just appeared, and now it's everywhere. This is way better than kale, tastes heaps better. You can eat it straight like this. Now, the older leaves are probably a little bit tough. I can eat it, no problem, but I'm actually having a cup of tea at the moment, so don't know if I'm going to eat it with my cup of tea, but it's great. And you could also steam them and make things like a baklava. I don't know how you pronounce that, but I haven't tried that yet, but it's something that I want to do. Now, I do from time to time when I've got some microgreens or salad, I just put a couple of leaves on the side, and my daughter and I, we just grab them, we put a little bit of food in there, we wrap it, and then bomb it straight down. And it's really, really delicious. Now, I've got it growing here, as I said before, underneath this avocado, and it's going to grow together, as mentioned. So I'm looking forward to this spreading right through. Now, it does throw out a runner like a strawberry, which is really, really cool. And each node will produce another plant. So it just spreads like crazy in the right environment. And if you watched any of my older videos, you would have seen that I've talked about this plant once or twice before in pots and things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link up there and down below in the card, so you can access and watch that video as well, because there's some really good information in there about this plant. As I said, there's one con with it, but the benefits of that just outweigh it all. And I've got it growing in a permaculture space that I'm building out at the moment. It's a bit out of control, but there's a reason for that. And what we're going to do is we're going to head over there now, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing in my permaculture space. That really is an area where I don't have to do a lot of work, but can still harvest food. So let's go, shall we? Oh, spider. Got to watch out for spiders in me permaculture zones. I just pulled one out of me gumboot, believe it or not, and shook the boot because I felt something crawling around, and yeah, little huntsman come out. Didn't bite me or anything like that. It's all good. My daughter told me she found a big one in the gumboot the other day, so it's crawling in there inside the laundry for some reason, maybe finding a good dark spot to hide. But anyway, this is the permaculture zone. Now, I've got the sun coming up, the morning sun. I'm having a cup of tea while we're doing this, so we've only got a little bit of time to get in there and get the right light and film this amazing plant. And as I said, it's got one con. And I may as well tell you now, before we keep moving on with that, if you're in a temperate area, you will need to keep it warm and in a pot, a mother plant, through this winter period, right? But if you live close to the coast, in a temperate area where you don't get frost, you can grow this all year round, no problem. It is a tropical, subtropical plant. Now, I've grown it far south, subtropical, no problem. So I think places like in Sydney and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure you could grow it. Anyway, let's keep moving forward. I've got it growing underneath here, and I'm going to show you some tricky ways that you can grow it at home too, so you can have lots of free food. So you're probably thinking, Marty, this is absolutely crazy. The place looks like a full-on mess. Well, in some ways it is. Look, it's a permaculture zone right in the far corner up near the fence, and it's designed to just grow over time and improve the soil. I've got really bad, heavy clay soils here, and all the weeds and everything is chop and drop. Bad weeds go into the bin, the green bin. I've got lots of bad weeds here that have been left from the previous owner, but we're getting there. And we are improving the soil, and the betel leaf plant actually is a part of that system. You see, in permaculture, a lot of people grow sweet potatoes and grow it along the ground to cover the ground as a ground cover. Well, this does the same thing, but it's a better plant. You get more food from it, and you could probably have it used in a similar way, because I've had it growing underneath papaya trees where it's just like a sea of edible lawn, and you go along. I've gone along with the whippersnipper and gone brrr, and actually hit it, and it was just sort of sticks through the winter because it got so cold, and then just grew back twice as hard and twice as luscious and just amazing. And so what I'm doing here is I've got it in a pot. See that pot there? Well, that's throwing out vines and going along the ground, and everywhere a little vine nodule is a new plant, and then that new plant will hit into the ground. It'll throw out a new bush, and then it will throw out more vines again, and so it spreads really quick. Within about 2 years, it just really starts to take over, and it's quite easy to control. It's not like you have to dig it up like sweet potato. You can pull it up out of the ground, or just cut it back, or just a quick little light dig, and you could sell the plants too as well, really quite easily, I reckon, in the near future, once people learn how amazing this plant is. So here it is over here. We'll get a bit of a distance. We'll come in closer. So I've got to be careful I don't step on any really cool plants here. I've got some little papayas, some passion fruit growing here, and here's my Piper betel right here. And look at those big, luscious, beautiful leaves. It's a little bit of pest damage, but not too bad. And the main thing is why it's in a pot out here. This is my mother plant for now. Now it's throwing out big vines down here and running them along the ground, and they'll spread out. There's one vine there. There's 2 vines running out, which will end up about 10-15 nodes. So around about 30 plants, if all goes well, will come out off this. Now you can imagine let's triple that by next time, so we could have 90 plants here within 1 season or 1.5 years growing underneath this fruit tree, which is really, really cool. And you just never run out of food, mate. Once these are in and established, it's just gold for your permaculture zone. As I said, right in the bottom level, underneath your trees, in space you very rarely use anyway. So there you have it, the Piper betel, right? A really cool plant. And look, the sun's coming up. I've been up really early since sunrise, organising this one. She's getting a bit warmer. Glad it wasn't so cold this morning, didn't have to worry about the beanie. But if you want to buy this plant, I bought mine in eBay because I forgot to take it back from my other garden. Silly me, what a stupid move, because it grows really easy from cuttings. You can strike those little root nodules that are coming off like a strawberry into water. You can actually just get sticks of it and just stick it in the ground and make sure you got it the right way up in a pot, and it will grow. That's how I got mine. I purchased, I think, 8 sticks or something from eBay for about $15, and you just got to wait until it warms up, and then they'll start growing and shooting, and they take a little bit to get going, but once they're going, they're just unreal. And look, we're going to be eating it nearly every day through the summer, winter, and late autumn periods here. So there's only really about 3 months of the year where I won't be eating it because it would just be that little bit cold. So that's probably, like I said, the only con to it. It is an amazing plant, and I believe that it's going to be one of the ones that's going to hit the West and take over and be bigger and better than kale, because it's got better storage value, it's more nutritious maybe, and look, I don't even like kale that much anyway. It doesn't taste real good. But let me know what you think in the comments box below about this amazing permaculture plant. Have a great day, happy everything, and we'll see you at the next video real soon. Bye for now.